Hey team, welcome to my yearly evaluation of 2019. I apologize for this being so late. I know I should have given it to you earlier and I didn't prioritize it. I apologize. I did this in December just before I went to Taiwan, and I've just got back to LA, I've been doing different things, and now I've sat down and I'm going to go through all my learnings and all my insights with you. If you have not already evaluated your year and you've asked yourself a series of questions, I would seriously recommend doing this. It's so important. So let me briefly go through my year, and hopefully you can gain some insights from what I've learnt and what I'm taking through with me into 2020. So the first thing that I do when I look at my year is I look at my achievements. And for me, some of the outstanding ones is obviously getting engaged, doing my TEDx in Chinese, being on radio, doing interventions, going to HSBC, swimming with whale sharks, having my best ever profit month and year, creating various products all over. I made a relationship course, I made an energy course. I've done a fair amount this year. It's been pretty epic. So some magic memories, right? I've had some memories going to LA Zoo Lights, helping TEDx youth. I made Evan engagement book. That was an amazing memory. I was singing Welsh songs at my granddad's 90th. That was a wicked memory. This is so funny, I've got to share this with you. I had someone dancing in my fulfillment artist intensive, and as he was dancing, he was jumping up and down, right? And he didn't realize that some of the lady attendees were not wearing sports bras and such. They were all jumping up and down, but like this. And he just had no idea why, and it just cracked me up because he was trying to make them do some things that were rather ridiculous. But anyway, lots of magic memories. Went to Japan as well. That was fantastic with everyone to see England. I can't believe they didn't win. A little bit disappointed about that. So my next question is, how would you score the year? For me, it was an 11 out of 10. It was unreal. Like business, relationships, my health, giving back. It's been unreal. Honestly, 2019 was insane. So now let's get on to some of the things that you can really take away. So for me, this is a great question. What do I want to take with me from 2019 and bring to 2020? So a few things. The first thing is self-discipline. I think the self-discipline of getting up early, doing everything has been fundamental to my success so far. So I'm going to keep that self-discipline going. Next, majors and minors. Let me explain. Something that I've started to do is to pick one major and two minors every 3 months. So for example, when I look into my major for this month personally, it's getting Ev to London, doing the visa process and all these different things, right? And then I've got other minors looking into health and finances. I do the same with my business. This major minors thing really helps me focus. It's been awesome. Next is the genuine care for others. For me, genuinely caring about others has just massively improved my business. When they don't pay me anything or anything like that, I just genuinely care about someone, give them things, and then things come back. It's been amazing. Next is humility. I think it's important to stay, not be arrogant, but to have humility when you deal with lots of people. I really think that it's lacking when we always want to post everything out, and I think it's important for me anyway. Next is say yes and figure it out later. Definitely, I've had some times in 2019 where I did that. For example, TEDx in Chinese. First ever talk I did in Chinese on a TEDx stage. Pretty wild. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. Another thing was doing the online summit. I've never done an online summit before, but I threw myself in there. I said yes and I'll figure it out. It went well. Awesome. Impacted hundreds and hundreds of people's lives. That was fantastic. Other thing, doing a keynote for HSBC and flying to China for like 3 days, right? You say yes and you figure it out, and it went sensational. Now the big thing here, this is actually my biggest takeaway that I want to move forward with, is focus. For me, the issue that I had in 2019 was, despite being very successful, I was successful in a lot of different areas, and this year is going to be focus. So as you watch what I do and what I create in 2020, there's going to be a lot of focus, and it's going to be very clear what my outcomes are. And for me, I think that's huge. The other thing is to say no to projects that I don't want to do, right? Because I get offered a lot of different things, and I just need to have the ability to say no to allow me to stay focused on what really matters. Okay. So for me, what have I learned this year, being 2019? I learned that I must focus for the business and actually be a business owner instead of a business operator. When I attended Business Mastery in May with Tony Robbins, that was really, really important. Next is choosing one thing to get really good at. Now for me, with the Fulfillment Artist brand, I've dabbled in a lot of different things. We've done energy, we've done relationships, I've done a lot of lifestyle design, and now it's really getting a very clear understanding of what it is that I want to offer to people to really have a big impact. And for me and my business, I think that's of fundamental importance. Okay, next, build what they want, not what you want to create. So for me, I've realized that some of the products that I've created have been for me and not for other people. So I'll give you an example. I knew the energy seminar was more for me than other people. And let me explain what I mean by that. From a business standpoint, it's very different to what I usually do. It's still in line, but it's different because I'm working with people one-on-one. Helping them is different to teaching them about health and energy. That there's a slight transition there, even though it's kind of in the same ballpark. So for me, I knew it wasn't the best business decision, but I chose to do it anyway because I wanted to do it for myself, and then I could give back for different people that wanted to attend. Now, moving forward, I want to be able to find out what other people want and to be able to give back to them in a way that's really sustainable. So for me, I genuinely think that's really important. So I'm starting to make some small communities, understanding what they want, and then building that to better impact them, which is cool. Next, genuine care for others goes a long way. I've mentioned it before, but it's just made a huge difference for me. And the last thing is, no one knows how life unfolds. So go with the flow and let go of the result. Really important. Like, surrender to the result, but do as much as you can. Next, lessons I've learned that I don't want to repeat again. No more creating content that people don't ask for because it uses up a lot of time. You see how much content I push out. There's loads. Some are more successful, some aren't. For me, I really want to focus on what people care about. Next is not getting addicted and diving into certain things. For example, I have quite an addictive personality. When I do something, I like doing it whole. However, sometimes I fall off track. For example, with games or with even with health sometimes. Like I really genuinely get obsessed with it. So for me, I need to be very aware and to manage myself accordingly and to really focus on Chinese to really be able to move it forward. As well as impacting people more and more, because it's been an obsession of mine for a while. I'm doing great, but ultimately I'd love to be able to move on to that more. So for me, the next question is, what would you have done different and how will you change that this year? The biggest thing has been focus. So I've realized that the more I focus, the better results I get, especially in the world we're in today, where we have so much mental stimulation. We have an information overload and we're starving of wisdom. I genuinely think focus is so important, and if I can carry on just focusing on myself, doing my stuff and not being distracted by other people, I know it's going to make a huge impact in my life. Okay, other things. So for finances, every year I redo my percentages of what goes where. So I have a growth bucket looking to grow my finances massively. Security, which keeps it more safe. So I've stuck with the same sort of percentages there. So I have sort of 70% in growth and 30% in security because that's just working for me at the moment. I've reevaluated my health principles. Health has been amazing. As some of you noticed, I'm actually in my 5th day of a cleanse at present, and it's been amazing. Juice cleanse, awesome. I really recommend starting the year with a cleanse. I'm feeling like I'm rebooted. I just finished a Thai massage. It was great. And other things. So I reviewed my values list. This is important. And I made 2 changes that I want to share. I added in smart and focus as values that I want to bring in to the year, as well as giving, actually. And the reason why I added those in and changed the wording is that for me, being smart is taking a step back and instead of working hard, thinking smart. And I want to bring that into my business so that I can really make some smart decisions, invest in the right areas, and to ultimately move it forward. Next is focus. I've mentioned it a lot of times, so that's there. And then giving. I had a value of caring and sharing, and now I really want to just move on to straight giving. And for me, that resonates more, and I'm excited to see what happens moving that forward. The other things that I've done is obviously reevaluated all my life areas. So if you don't do this, I think this is really important. I mean, for me, it's made a huge difference. I mean, as part of the ultimate life management system I have, and you can have a look at that if it works for you. I've got different areas for my life and different areas for my business. So for my life this year, I've got different categories. I've got energy, same as last year. I've got relationships, lifelong love with that. That's fundamental important. Next, I've got deep, meaningful connections, which is my friends and family. And I've added another one in that I didn't have last year. I had it the year before, but I decided to get rid of it because I thought I would include it in another area, and it just didn't work. And that is having ridiculous fun and adventure. Despite how much adventure and fun I had last year, I didn't have a category, so even though I was doing all these things, I thought it could be nice just to have some more magic moments for myself, just to keep myself in a really good state. So I've added that in. I then got giving, which was there last year, as well as my finances, Chinese inspiration, and then another one that I didn't have, which is called exponential expansion. For me, this is growth. I've been spending a lot of time giving and sharing and doing these things. However, I also want to continually and exponentially expand myself and to grow in different areas. So I've got these categories and I've got different targets for each of them in 2020. And for me, this has been a great way just to reflect and start to move things forward. So what I'll say is, if you haven't done a yearly evaluation, like I said, please make sure you do that. I hope that you've taken some insights from this video and can help apply them to your life. And I can't wait to see what 2020 holds. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'm happy to send templates or anything like that to you. And I hope you have an amazing 2020 because you so deserve it. I look forward to chatting to you guys soon.